Our cruise to Antarctica started in Ushuaia, the most southern city in the world. We spent several days in Ushuaia adjusting to the cold and the time difference before taking the bus to board our cruise ship, the Ocean Diamond, which is owned by Quark Expeditions. Ironically, our hotel was just a few minutes walk from the ship, but for logistic reasons we had to take the bus, which took a lot longer. I thought we went to Antarctica on a ship, not on a bus.
Just shows you how wrong you can be.
Yeah, shows you how little we know about it. After settling into our cabin, we left the port that evening on the 30th of November 2012. After enjoying a magnificent dinner, we had time to explore the cruise ship, which had 183 passengers on board. At this time of the year, the sun sets at 10 PM and it's still light at midnight, so we were able to get good views of the Beagle Channel as we slowly made our way out to the Drake Passage. Tourists can only visit Antarctica in the summer, and that makes Ushuaia a busy port as it's one of the few places that has ships leaving for the southern continent. During 2012, the continent had 26,500 visitors.
These guys were supposed to leave after us, but they're beating us. We haven't left the port.
Hey, not fair.
That's what I reckon, not fair.
They're going to get to Antarctica before us.
Yeah. These people are away for 2 days longer than us. We met a lot of them today.
Cruise ships do the Arctic run in May and then switch to Antarctica in November. We saw this ship in Istanbul a few years ago.
Markings on the front here.
Oh,
See
yeah.
those? Don't you remember that we saw one like that in Turkey?
Fairly big thing.
I'm sure I heard that they come down this way when the season's over up there.
Yeah. It's not moving, eh? It's just berth there.
You sure about
Yeah.
that?
Isn't it?
Is it just us?
No, there's
that's
no
moving?
wake. Look, there's no wake at the rear. Oh, mate, yes, it is moving, but really slowly. See, like if you look at how much weight we're generating, and how much weight, yeah, that's moving very slowly. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accommodation decks. Well, we got more. It's got a big eye looking at us.
Mm. That's why I remember it. And
Oh,
the
look.
lips on the front.
Our ship has a cruising speed of 15 knots, so by about 1 AM that night we were woken up by loud creaking noises in the cabin as the ship entered the Drake Passage, the roughest passage in the world. As the ship flexes in the waves, the walls and ceilings in the cabin flex also. Dark out there. Can't see a thing. Oh, hang on, got my lens cap off. Pretty rough out here. People in the cabin next door, we can hear them chundering away. Where?
Just all of it pouring out like that. There's big waves.
The next day, we took no photos because we were out at sea, and there was nothing to see anyway. Besides, we were busy with safety briefings, landing guidelines, biosecurity briefings and paperwork. As we headed south, it got colder and colder, and it was 10 degrees Celsius when we left Ushuaia, and now it was down to between -2 degrees and +2 degrees depending on the time of day. Initially, the crew wound up the cabin temperature to 26 degrees, which made the humidity really low, and the air felt really dry, and going outside was a huge temperature shock. We practiced dressing for the outside environment, and also our packs that we would be taking onto shore had to be vacuumed and biosecurity checked. The following day, in the morning, we found ourselves not far from the Antarctic Peninsula. Crosshairs is our actual location, and it's calmed down outside as well, although it still looks pretty rough. Of course, one couldn't go by without knowing all the information about
how many GPS's satellites there are that we can see, and what their signal strengths are, and all the rest of the paraphernalia that's associated with the sort of technology. But this is really amazing. There's Sony Xperia phone and the applications that are on it.
Just after 9 AM and after breakfast, I decided to go up on deck to have a look around with several other yellow penguins. It was a freezing -2 degrees. I didn't last long there, so I made my way to the bridge where Captain Peter was, although he wasn't there often as the ship's computer looked after most of the routine business. Also on the bridge was world expert ornithologist Chris Hubbard and world expert Antarctica geologist Wolfgang Blummel. It was here that we had our very first whale sightings.
The 2 are on their way down, there's 2 still on the surface. So I think there's still 4 here, so there must be 6. Must be something like 6 of them. Lots of birds. Get it.
Oh, really? The big one?
Still there, it's not dived. No.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure whether that was a shallow dive or not. I think they're kind of feeding around the surface.
Yeah.
When you see them obviously arch their back, and you see the back really curving like that, that means they're going down. The rest of the time you just see the flat of the back.
So you think those are humpbacks?
These are all humpbacks, yes. They've got quite a small fin, and the blow isn't particularly high or large.
Yeah, try to come closer, but they will escape.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they're going to stubborn. So.
Still 2 more there.
There's another back.
So these other 2 are going to dive in a minute. Let's keep watching. Should get a great view of these 2.
Oh, so big.
Oh, what sort of bird is that? It looks so funny, flapping its wings on.
I can't even see it.
They're right down there. They're right here.
Where's he gone?
Right down here, around the corner.
What's that in the water?
Where?
Just there.
Plastic bag.
Oh, fair go. You just completely lost track of him.
Look at all those plastic bags in the water. Yeah, look, here we are.
Did we think we saw some plastic bags a minute ago?
Yeah, that's right, we did. There's just ice.
Yeah,
Hey, here we are, here, look, can you see that?
chunks of ice that we thought were plastic bags. We were worried sick. We were about to ring Greenpeace.
Yeah. Hey, we're at the bottom of the South Shetland Lines.
Yeah, he said that's coming up. You can see out the window there, see? Look at all the
Yeah.
ice.
Oh yeah, hey, there's sheets of ice out there.
I don't know that this camera will pick it up very well without being
I'll go
outside.
upstairs. I'll go upstairs. I'll go upstairs and take some shots.
There's a big sheet of ice. Quite cold leaning on this window frame too.
I should take my thermometer up there as well. See what the temperature is.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah,
look at
it's
the
so heavy.
ice. We've really come up fast on the ice.
Get a shot of us. Put this coat on.
Look at this, it's spectacular.
What?
Out here now.
Oh yeah, here.
This huge, massive sheet of ice in the water.
Here, I'll go upstairs and take a shot. That's what you carry. The only downside of the temperature is you've got to put on this massive coat. It's so heavy. And you're not allowed to wear jandals here either, which is a jolly nuisance. Take the old GPS up there so we figure out where we are.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, I'll go up there and take some pictures.
That is a big ice floe. I'll turn the camera off and then Stephen can go upstairs and film. It's like a river of ice running through the ocean.
Oh yeah, that's spectacular.
Unbelievable.
It's spectacular. A lot of banging all the ice out there.
As we continued to head south, the seascape gradually changed. From Wales, it changed to little blocks of ice which looked like plastic bags, then rivers of ice, then small ice floes, then huge icebergs. The scenery was spectacular, but it was grey and overcast, so the full beauty of the scenery wasn't captured on camera. Nevertheless, we were grateful that it wasn't raining or stormy. By 11 AM, we were not far from the South Shetland Islands, and our ship attracted a variety of birds. Next we saw penguins who were just as curious about us as we were about them. Oopsie, sorry penguins, but we're 8,000 tonnes.
-2, but I haven't got gloves on and my hat come off, so it's not too bad.
You see penguin footprints on the ice floes. You can see from this GPS that we're just 20 miles off the side of an island, and there it is right there. Can you see? Yeah. Can you see anything? Can you see anything? Hi, Mum.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a lot of frostbite already.
Cold out here. It's just after 5 minutes your face feels like it's going to crack, so it hurts. But it's not really cold. It's more painful than cold.